Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the corner and welcome to your latest Chelsea news. Lots of bits and pieces to go through. Most importantly, we need to talk about FIFA Club World Cup draw that is coming up on Thursday, I believe. So lots to talk about there. But as I said, heaps of other bits and bobs that's floating around in the Chelsea atmosphere that we need to touch base on. Before we do all of that, ladies and gentlemen, take a moment right now as we speak. Smash the like button. Take the moment, smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Let's get to 37,000 subscribers and hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Now, let's get in on the act. FIFA Club World Cup 2025. This is actually, it's a lucrative trophy, man. This is a lucrative competition. This is only going to happen once every 4 years. This is not going to happen on a regular basis like the way things are being run right now. I think still this season we're in December this month. I think the last of this current edition will happen, and then this kicks on in June 2025 as the first of its kind, and then from there on every 4 years. So all the clubs around the world, all the champions around the world, they get to participate in this format, and it's sort of like that World Cup format. 32 teams. There's 4 different pots. We're going to go through the pots very, very soon. Not every single one of them because I don't know all the teams, but the main sort of teams. And yeah, this is going to be a big event, man. I think the prize money involved in this event is quite exorbitant too, and the winner actually gets a lot of money. The problem with this is it starts, I believe, from June 15th and ends in July 13th, which means how much time does each of these clubs, especially the European clubs, how much time do they have to prepare for the pre-season? And then, of course, the next season that's lined up. And also, this is why it's so important to have a deep squad these days, because players will get burnt out. All those matches in a normal league season, and then you throw in this Club World Cup. But as I said, this is not something to fret about anymore. This is a lucrative competition, and I'm pretty sure most clubs that are participating, in fact, all clubs that are participating, will do their level best to win this trophy. So check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Official FIFA Club World Cup pots. The draw is on Thursday. Chelsea find themselves in pot 2, as you can see, along with Borussia Dortmund, Inter Milan, Porto, Atletico Madrid, Benfica, Juventus, and that's Salzburg. That's the Austrian team. I believe that's not Red Bull. Leipzig, that's Salzburg. So that's a very, very good, strong pot 2. Pot 1 has Manchester City, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, PSG. I believe that is Flamengo, Palmeiras. Apparently, the word is Estevan Willian is going to be participating for Palmeiras in this particular competition. I thought the whole reason, that we are all excited about this is, one of the big reasons that we're excited about this is that Esteban Willian was going to feature for Chelsea post June 30th. He does become a Chelsea player, but it seems like apparently there was a pre-agreement made that he's going to participate for Palmeiras. River Plate is there, and Fluminense, I believe that one. Thiago Silva's team. So look, ladies and gentlemen, I can't wait. I hope I can make it. I really want to go to the United States and catch a few games of Chelsea Football Club. I mean, if we make it to the finals, that'll be sensational. But yeah, I hope we take this seriously at the end of the season. Look, there'll be games where I'm pretty sure, we can have a heavily rotated team. The so-called B team can feature, and then as the competition progresses, and if we do go further and deeper into the competition, the A team can kick into gears. But yeah, as you can see, pot 3, Al Hilal is there, whole heap of other clubs. Boca Juniors is there. Pot 4 has got some interesting clubs as well. Al Ain FC, wow, from United Arab Emirates. Miami, Messi's team is there as well. So this will be a nice event, man. Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts. Are you looking forward to the Club World Cup? I sure am. We'll see if we can do the draw as a live stream for the Club World Cup which is on Thursday. If it's on a suitable time, we'll try and cover that draw. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Levi Colwill is seen internally as a potential future Chelsea captain. This is coming from Simon Johnson. Look, yeah, I've got no issues with this. I think he will. I think Reece James is most likely not going to be the captain from next season onwards. This season, I don't think it's going to be taken away from Reece James, but we can see already the ultimate issue with Reece James is I don't think he's going to be available often enough. And we need to find a new leader. Obviously, Enzo Fernandez is doing a good job. Caicedo's doing a good job. Cucurella is a very good shout. And there are other players they're growing in stature. But Levi Colwill, definitely, I feel like he might be that, colossal centre-back that takes over the armband and leads Chelsea down the track. I've got no issues with it. He shows leadership qualities. I just hope that he just turns to be more consistent. I think predominantly this season he's been very good. Obviously, the last game against Aston Villa, he was an absolute beast. But there are the big games where he does have shaky moments, and I hope he can eradicate that and just become a huge centre-back that we all believe that he can be, especially in the Premier League. And, of course, if we hopefully qualify in the top 4 by the end of this season in the Premier League, then go on and be a top CB in Europe as well, participating in the Champions League. So this, I'm not surprised. This guy is definitely a born leader. Enzo Maresca says Chelsea have yet to make a decision over whether to recall midfielder Lesley Ugochukwu from his loan spell at Southampton next month. Look, we're playing Southampton tomorrow. Lesley Ugochukwu, for me, I don't know, man. This guy doesn't even make the bench anymore over there. Now, is it the manager that just doesn't fancy him? Is he not good enough? Is he not training enough? Or is it just a bit of injustice that's happening? The way I look at it, Andre Santos is going to be lined up next season 100% for Chelsea. We've still got Enzo Fernandez. We've got Romeo Lavia. We've got Caicedo. Keenan Dewsbury Hall. God knows what his future is at the Chelsea club. Ugochukwu is probably surplus to requirements. He is a different type of a profile, more of a athletic, physical stature, more of your proper destroyer at the back. He has sort of ventured forward in pre-season, scored a couple of goals, I believe. So look, it's hard to judge what type of a player Ugochukwu is because you don't even get to see him play for Southampton. But maybe he is in line to go on a loan. I do feel that the relationship, I don't know whether it's the relationship with him and the manager has soured or whatnot. I'm not really sure, but it kind of looks like it has at Southampton. I do believe he's going to be recalled in January and then sent to another loan. We just need to find a club that's actually going to give him game time. And he probably needs to reflect on this as well. That is he actually training well enough? Is he actually a valuable member for Southampton or any of the clubs that he potentially down the track goes on loan to? Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your verdict on Ugochukwu. I just feel like maybe he doesn't have a future at Chelsea. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Moses Caicedo has been nominated for the PFA Premier League Fans Player of the Month for November. Not surprised one bit. This guy's been a monster. How he's not nominated every single month is probably the more of a surprise. For month of November, yeah, well, whatever month of October, what about month of September, August, and all of that? He has been flawless. He's probably one of the very few players, along with Cucurella, who consistently has been dropping 7s, bare minimum out of 10s, if not more. There are games where he's dropping 8s and 9s and probably even near perfect score 10 out of 10. So look, not surprised he's nominated for the PFA Premier League Fans Player of the Month award. I hope he goes on and wins it. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea want to protect Reece James publicly and in private. They don't want to expose the next steps of his recovery. They want to keep him away from all the media, rumors, and stories. They back him and won't be leaving in January. I mean, look, this is good. We don't need more news floating in the media and becoming headline. And then obviously us content creators will report on it as well and talk about it. Maybe it is best that we don't talk too much about Reece James. We know what's going on. It is a tough time for Reece James. Whether he's ever going to come back at his best, we don't know. It's not his fault that his body's breaking down on him on a regular basis like this. But of course, it's a cause for concern. It's a cause for concern for the team. It's a cause for concern for the fan base that perhaps we're never going to see Reece James at his best again. And look, let's just see what happens. This is another injury, latest injury on top of so many injuries that has taken place. And I think Chelsea's doing the right things by ensuring that no further rumors and whatnot go out in public. And we don't know when he's going to be back. Matt Law recently reported that he's potentially going to be back after December, somewhere in January. So let's see what happens. Enzo Maresca was asked, is it a surprise how well things are going? For sure, I still consider it a big job, but this doesn't mean that because it's a big job, you're not doing the right things. We are ahead of my expectation in the way we are playing in terms of results. There are many things we can do better. I mean, look, I've said it recent times, even Enzo Maresca things, where we are right now and how we are developing and how we are progressing is ahead of schedule. This is why I had the expectation from the start of the season that maybe 5th or 6th, and then we can push on from there. Having said that, with new evidence provided now, the way the team is playing, the way each individuals are getting better and better, we have to adjust our expectation. And the expectation right now is definitely we're in the mix of the top 4 race, and we should try and secure one of those positions. Who knows if any of the English clubs can go far in the Champions League, maybe 5th position also becomes a Champions League spot. But for now, definitely top 4 is a position that we're going for. And we'll see what happens by the end of December, by the end of January, where we are in the table. And we'll see if we can entertain a cheeky title run down the track. But we are 100% ahead of schedule, and which only tells me that we are overachieving, which is good. We should always strive to overachieve. Enzo Maresca, in the next 5-10 years, because of the age, Chelsea can be one of those sides that dominate English football. I think we are in the right direction. And in terms of personal target, I know from outside you struggle to believe. Now, look, it's very important when we put targets like 5-10 years. It's very important. Stability is very important. Consistency is very important. Having said about consistency and stability in terms of manager, in terms of players, but at the same time, you want to every now and then refresh the squad as well. We've seen, Liverpool struggle in recent times. Obviously, this season they're having really good season. We're now seeing Man City struggle as well, and we've seen plenty other teams. They go through a patch, a golden patch, where it's their strongest squad and they need to do damage and win as many trophies as possible. And that same squad eventually fades out and capitulates. And before those teams capitulate, you need to hone in and figure out who needs to come out and who needs to go into the team to refresh the team on a regular basis. I think every season it's important to add maybe at least one new face to just keep things ticking over and removing one face at max 2. But yeah, predominantly you want to keep it as stable as possible, especially the spine of the football club, along with the manager, that you don't see too many chop and changes. But at the same time, you hold the manager accountable, that, making sure standards are met. Obviously, this season we're going for top 4, but following seasons we need to be competing for the Premier League title on a regular basis. And if the manager is unable to get the best out of himself and of the team, then things will need to be looked at again. But stability is very, very important. And every now and then some fresh faces is also important for this notion of being competitive over the next 5 and 10 years. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Maresca Southampton presser highlights. So good press conference again, some quotes that PYS has gathered together. I spoke to the owners after the last game, a normal conversation we have after every game. How was the game? You're feeling what works, what doesn't work. And look, that's good that Enzo Maresca is in constant conversation with the owners. In terms of targets, Chelsea didn't ask me to set a target. They asked me to build for the next year, something important. We're in the right direction. I like this, like having a realistic view and just letting things just take control of itself. Some people might get annoyed about that. Well, how come we don't have a target? Look, we're in a top 4 race. We all know we're vying for the top four race, but we don't need to go out there and publicly say that. Well, our manager doesn't need to publicly state that. And I like this about Enzo Maresca. He really puts out commentary quotes in a very realistic manner, educating the fan base and also letting people know, look, this club has suffered over the last 2 years. It's time to build something important, and we'll see where that takes us. We don't want to set targets from the get-go and then we're finding ourselves under pressure to deliver. Right now we're focused on day by day, train hard, understand the philosophy, understand exactly how we want to be on and off the ball, and then let's go out there and execute that on a match-to-match basis, one game at a time. So I like this attitude, and then let's see where that takes us. After that, from the following seasons, once players become a little bit more mature and also the manager getting a little bit more experience at the top level, then we can entertain having targets. We need to be ready tomorrow, or it will be a bad day for us. The reason why is because if you analyze the results, they are there, but in terms of performance, they were winning against Liverpool, lost to City 1-0, drew to Brighton. This is what I like about Enzo Maresca. He's basically put out a statement and a message to the players and the fan base that, look, get that Aston Villa victory out of your system right now. Get it out of your system. Pee it out, shit it out, whatever you need to do, get it out of your system ASAP. You think you can rock up to Southampton and you're just entitled to get the 3 points because you've been in a good trajectory, you've had a good win against Aston Villa, your best performance of the season. You think you just rock up at Southampton and Southampton's just going to say, yeah, here's a plate and 3 points is right there, ready for you. And here's a red carpet, just walk straight through. No, you're wrong. Every team in the Premier League, if you, for any chance, become complacent, they can hurt you. Every single team in the Premier League. And this is the team that's bottom, absolute last in the league. So this is a good message from Enzo Maresca. Be aware, be alert, respect the opposition, respect the game that we've prepared, and go out there and execute and take care of business. And if we have that attitude, I've got no doubts we can win 3, 4, 5-0. But if we have an attitude that we Chelsea Football Club, we've got a lot of star-studded footballers, superstars, we'll just rock up, they'll bend over backwards, and we'll get the job done. I'm telling you, Southampton probably end up winning 1-0. So we have to be very careful. I like this a lot from Enzo Maresca. I don't know if we will rotate versus Southampton. Yesterday's session, those who played on the weekend were in recovery. This afternoon, we have another session. Then we will decide. I think there will be some level of rotation. Whether everyone is going to be rotated, I don't think so. There are some forced rotation in the likes of Fofana, who's injured. So you're going to have one forced rotation there. I think there are certain players that are incapable of playing 2 matches in the week right now because of their injury history. So there might be some rotation there. And then there'll be some fringe players that are not getting game time. We'll probably see. And also players that are on the verge of getting suspended. We've got that Spurs game in the weekend coming up. We want our key players to be available for that. And certain players in the likes of Nicholas Jackson is on one yellow card away from being suspended. So, there'll be some level of rotation, but at the same time, I think a lot of players that generally play will have to back this up as well, because Premier League, there's no Mickey Mouse games, man. Absolutely no Mickey Mouse games. Where's out? It depends on the game plan. Benoit Badiashile could be an option, but we have Tosin, Axel Disasi, different players that can play there. For sure, it's a big loss. Wes has been fantastic every game. We have to find a solution. Yeah, 100% we have to find a solution. Wesley Fofana is an aggressive defender. He's a great ball carrier. And he complements Levi Colwill, who's a great passer. And is a little bit more, subtle in defending, the nuances of defending. He's more concentrated on that. Not to say that Levi Colwill is also not a beast. He's definitely a beast. But Wesley Fofana is robust. So we need to find another individual that complements Levi Colwill that way. I think Benoit Badiashile does that. He is an aggressive type of a defender. Is he a good ball carrier? We shall see that. But it's a good opportunity for Benoit Badiashile to prove a point. Desasi, I think his pace lets him down. Tosin is probably of the same ilk as Levi Colwill, a little bit more subtle when it comes to that aggression. So yeah, let's see what happens. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Taylor will be in charge for Tottenham versus Chelsea. I mean, just when we thought maybe we can go on a bit of a run, but looks like the Premier League don't like us. The Premier League has had enough of Chelsea winning games. Now let's put the spanner in the mix with Anthony Taylor. If you guys remember, a couple of seasons ago, this guy screwed us up. Thomas Tuchel era. Spurs, Chelsea versus Spurs, Tottenham Hotspurs. Clear penalty on Cucurella's hair pulled down, and this guy was officiating that match. And there's been so many other instances as well where he's royally screwed up Chelsea Football Club, and this guy is now going to officiate the game between Tottenham versus Chelsea. I just hope he doesn't take center stage. I hope he doesn't make it all about himself and willy-nilly starts brandishing yellow cards and red cards and just unnecessary decisions that sway the match one way or another. So let's see what happens. This is not a good news. This one particularly is not a good news. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about everything we spoke about, especially in regards to Club World Cup and all the other bits and bobs in Chelsea Football Club that's floating around. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Till next time, everyone. Take care. See ya.